So today I want to talk about manifestation from kind of a different angle because I feel like there is such a shift in the collective consciousness right now. I can really intuitively feel that everyone who is a human on this planet right now is being forced to shift their consciousness right now, especially the people on my channel. You and me here, we are especially feeling this right now, and it's really inspiring me to talk about the work we're doing that looks like, oh, we're just manifesting stuff. Like that's how all of us came into this. Like, oh, I want to manifest some stuff. I want to manifest a boyfriend. I want to manifest some money. How do I do that? Like we started from this very egoic, externally based perception about manifestation. And now you and me and everyone else is really having this deepening. And the best word that I can describe for this deepening, and words are so limited, but the best word I have for it is there's a much deeper healing in how we're perceiving ourselves and perceiving consciousness and manifestation in general. So let's go deeper in talking about what's really happening for you right now. Because again, I know if you are watching this video right now, you are having some deep epiphanies and upheavals within yourself. Your consciousness is really shifting rapidly, and that is, of course, going to cause amazing manifestations. But today I really want to keep the focus on you. And really all manifestation work, the focus is always on you. There is no one to change but self. But especially today, I want to validate you and go deeper in just, how is your consciousness shifting right now? And how are you literally being healed by your own manifestation process? And quickly, before we get deeper into it, I'll introduce myself in case you don't know me yet. My name is Genevieve. I'm a manifestation coach, a spiritual teacher, an energy worker, and I'm here to take you deeper into your manifestation process and also make the process really healthy for you so that you don't accidentally damage your mental health or your spiritual health by doing manifestation in a very forced, egoic way. The healthier you do this, the better results you're going to get. So I'm here to help you with all of that. I have courses down below in the description below if you want to do one of my courses. Go on down there, click on the links, and you can start doing a course right now. You can also book a session with me, although there is a little bit of a wait to talk to me. But if you want to talk to me personally about your situation, also if you want to do an energy healing, I don't talk about that much on this channel, but that is an option in my calendar, and that really helps you with your manifestation process because all energy healing is state shifting, really. And if you want to bypass your ego, the ego is trying to figure everything out all the time, and it kind of keeps you on a hamster wheel stuck. You're not really shifting states. If you're figuring things out or trying to figure things out, we can bypass that by doing an energy healing instead. So just keep that in mind that that's an option down in the description below. So just check out all those links if you want to work with me, but you also don't have to do any of that. You can just hit the like button on this video and subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on all of the awesome free information I'm giving you guys all the time. So let's talk about this now. What is really happening with you when it comes to these radical shifts in your perceptions about yourself that you're having, your perceptions about reality that you're having? Something that we have talked about off and on over the years is healing really necessary in order to manifest? And my short answer to that has always been no. You don't really need to heal anything in order to manifest. Why is that? Because the process of manifesting itself heals you. And let me just define what I mean by healing, because I think a lot of people, when they ask about self-healing and all that stuff, there's a lot of confusion of like, what does that even mean? I think there's a misnomer that healing means that you are just like, you just clear everything and you're just like perfect all the time. Like you're just this perfect human who's never bothered by anything anymore. You're just so confident and at ease all the time. And that's really not very human. You are a human here on this planet, here to have a human experience. And having an ego and being imperfect is part of the process here. And there's a lot of grace. God has given you a lot of grace that allows you to be imperfect and still have a really good life and manifest the things you want. So let go of the idea that healing is about attaining some perfect state of being all the time. All healing really means is that you have let go of old narratives about yourself that no longer serve you. You are no longer engaging in thoughts about yourself, perceptions about yourself, judgments of yourself and of the world that limit you, that harm you. Really, all old narratives are, I should say painful old narratives, all they are is a limited sense of self. There's a feeling of stuckness with old narratives. There's a feeling of, I don't have many options. The same painful things keep happening to me. It's all just about narratives you've told yourself. And what are we doing as manifestors? All we're really doing as manifestors is we are starting to bring our attention to new narratives that feel better about ourselves, that feel more expansive. And just the nature of bringing your attention to new narratives is the old ones just sort of naturally fall away. And you don't need to figure them out. You don't need to psychoanalyze them of like, where did this come from? You really don't need to figure out an old narrative or even figure out how to get rid of it. Because that's also a thing I see a lot of people do, where they have an awareness of like, oh, I have an awareness that I have, low self-esteem, or I don't believe in myself, or I feel worthless. So I have an awareness, okay, I'm worthless. That's my old narrative. But then they think, okay, my ego thinks that I need to figure this out now. I need to figure out, well, why do I feel this way? And how do I make this go away? No, the more you engage with the old narrative of I'm worthless or whatever it is, the more you're legitimizing it, because you're putting your focus on it and you're thinking, yeah, this is a real thing. This is a big problem. This is something I need to figure out. This is something I need to change. And all that kind of engagement is doing is simply legitimizing it. Something that Neville Goddard himself was obviously really big on was stepping into what he called the void state, or the I am state. He was really, really big on constantly reminding his followers that we are not really our human selves. We are these gods. We are pure I am. We are not who we identify as a man or a woman or a nationality. We are not these human identifications. And he said, you will manifest when you finally start to see that you are this greater, faceless, nameless I am that is beyond a narrative about yourself. That is pure consciousness. When you step into your pure I am, you're stepping into pure consciousness, and that pure collective consciousness, because we are all the same one I am. Each human is just a different, special, unique expression of that one I am. But we're not really different at all. It just so happens to be that I manifested into this life as a woman who is an American. But that's not really who I am. Technically, I'm not really a woman. I'm not really an American. That's just a narrative that me as a soul decided to manifest myself into. But I am not limited by my current human identification to circumstances of being a woman or being an American. So Neville Goddard actually put a lot of emphasis on this, that the more you keep identifying with this higher level of I amness, or this higher knowing of who you are as this operant power. This is also what operant power means, that you are not the human parts of you. The human parts of you are an expression of you, an expression of the current manifestation of your soul, but you are not the physical things that you used to identify so strongly with. And this is where reality becomes more malleable to you, because when you start to see that everything is simply an identification, everything is simply a narrative that you're choosing to either push away from or you're choosing to bring closer to you, but you can pick and choose as you want, because you are not any of them. You are not any of these human options. You are this level of soul consciousness that is above the options. As manifestors, we are learning that we can truly identify with anything we want. And this is why, as I said earlier, we're not meant to figure out, if you've had an old narrative about yourself, like I'm worthless, you're not meant to keep focusing on it. You're not meant to figure it out. You're not meant to put it on a pedestal of like, oh my gosh, my whole life I felt this way. Why have I always felt this way? What do I do to change it? You are just seeing it for what it is. It's just something that caught on to you, something that you started to identify with. And yeah, you manifested some stuff probably through that identification that you had. But now you're starting to see from this higher level, it really is as easy as I just don't care about this old narrative about myself anymore. And again, that is healing. That's really all healing is, that you're letting go of that narrative. It's not as interesting to you anymore. You're not trying to figure it out anymore. You're not even worried about it anymore. You see it as just an option for the human experience, that all humans have this option to go into a narrative about themselves that they're worthless. That's available to all humans in our collective consciousness. Just because you were in that narrative about yourself, the I'm worthless thing, it's actually not that meaningful. It's actually not that important about you that you were in that narrative. All you have to do is see it for what it is. And And then, of course, bring your focus to a new narrative that you would like to try on. And again, just the very nature of that, of realizing, oh my gosh, I can just decide right now. It really is instant. The moment I decide that right now, I am so valuable, I am so worthy, I am so loved, and I can just decide that right now and bring my focus to that regardless of anything happening in my current physical reality. It doesn't matter. The physical reality is meaningless. It only ever gets meaning from your appraisal of it. This is why we say circumstances don't matter. They only matter as much as you decide, oh, that really matters, that, I haven't heard from my specific person in like 3 months. That really matters. It only matters because you decided it matters. That judgment is another narrative that you decided to take on and make it legitimate, make it important. But really, again, when you sink deeper into what we're really doing as manifestors, you really do start to see, whoa, yeah, circumstances really don't matter. The physical reality is pretty meaningless. It only ever gets meaning through the consciousness that perceives it. And because I am the operant power of my consciousness, I can look at anything right now and give it a completely different meaning. And my persistence, my repetition in my new meanings that I give myself, that I give my reality, that I give circumstances in my life, my persistence and repetition in that is what then mysteriously changes things. But here's the thing, here's what I'm feeling in so many of you, is you're finally getting it, that the change that you're seeking in the physical reality, you're starting to realize that that was never that important to begin with. Like, for example, so many of you came into this work because you were really obsessed with wanting to get a particular kind of attention from another person, whether it was an ex, whether it was a crush, whether it was a celebrity, but you really, really wanted, like, oh, if that one person just, texts me and gives me love, oh my gosh, I'll feel so much better. You were lost in a very wounded fallacy, a wounded narrative that you were powerless within yourself and that you needed, the physical reality was so meaningful, you needed that physical attention in order to make yourself feel good. And now you're seeing that all of that was an illusion. That was an illusion. It was never about getting someone to give you attention so that you'll feel better. That never works anyway. Someone else's attention to you is like a temporary ego fix, but it doesn't really heal that deep, deep thing within you that thinks it will be healed through their attention. The only way you heal is by completely dropping the narrative that caused that problem to begin with. When you've really let go of the I'm worthless narrative, for example, you notice that you no longer give so much value to other people giving you attention. It was the I'm worthless identification that gave you a false sense of yourself that you needed attention just to feel okay. I hope this is making sense. So now, as you keep putting your I amness, your operant power awareness on your knowings of, yeah, I am loved. Everything is really easy for me. And I just love myself and I love my life. And I'm really genuinely putting my attention there no matter what. The old narratives very naturally fall away because you don't take the bait on them anymore. You are keeping your attention on these new things. And that I can just feel is happening for so many of you. You're having these epiphanies. You are waking up. And what's also so fun is for a lot of you, your manifestations probably really are pouring in right now. And of course that is enjoyable and you should enjoy it. But as corny as it sounds, you are realizing that you always were the prize to begin with. It was your own knowing of yourself that you were always seeking. You used to think like, yeah, if I just get enough money, if I get enough love, if I get enough attention, then I'll feel better. You're now realizing all of that was a fallacy. That was an illusion. And I was really just seeking a deeper love within myself, a deeper knowing of myself, a truer God knowing of myself this whole time. And yeah, the freaky, cool, fun side effect is that I do get more attention, I do get more love, I do get more money in the 3D reality. Like I said, that's fun and enjoyable, but it really is the sprinkles on the cake. The real gift is you feeling so powerful in your own sense of self. You really feeling so much more secure in your sense of self. You feeling at home within you was the prize all along. And that is really all healing is. So as I said at the beginning of this video, you don't need to worry about healing before you manifest, because your healing and ascension in your own being naturally happens the more you put your focus on the narratives that you are choosing as these are the narratives that I would like to focus on. And it really is that simple, that I focus on these narratives. I don't give these old narratives so much attention anymore. I don't react to them. I'm also not trying to solve them or figure them out. I simply just don't give them much attention, and I keep my attention on these narratives. And that in and of itself heals you. It's just a byproduct of the process. And I want to validate you that you really are doing it right now. I can feel it so strongly. I don't normally make videos where I talk about feeling a collective consciousness shift, but I probably will speak of this more because there really is a shift. I really feel it. I'm seeing it every day in reality. I'm seeing it in you guys. I'm seeing it in my clients. You are not imagining this. You really are embodying this deeper, and you're not alone. It's like almost like proof that we are all one, that you shifting is causing everything to shift. Everyone is shifting. I will say, if you want more help and support around this, like maybe you can relate to what I'm saying a little bit, but you feel like you're not all the way there yet, I do highly recommend you do my self-concept course. That really addresses a lot of the things I'm talking about in this video. So if you feel like this shift is happening for you, but you just want some extra support, I highly recommend that you check that out. But otherwise, I think this was enough of a rant for today. I hope you guys appreciated this. It was a little bit different. I just felt so not interested in talking about the same old, like, how do you get your SP and how do you get $1 million? Like, I can't focus on the external right now when there's so much amazing internal stuff happening for people. And as I said, that is how you manifest anything you want. It is you. You are the only one that needs to change. Your acceptance of a new narrative, that's it. That's all you need to focus on. And magical things happen with everyone around you, all the stuff around you. That's where the magic happens. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know your thoughts, any questions you have down in the comments below. And yeah, I will see you guys in another video very soon. All right, bye.